How are you helping your existing team members get on the journey? I mean, is there any
Yeah.
training? Is there any learning? How have you thought about that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we do a lot of training across the company, marketing included in that, of course. So we are regularly, our IT team actually has very, very regular trainings that are drop-ins that anyone can learn the latest. So we have our own, as many people do, enterprise, version of an LLM, because
Mhm.
obviously governance is also critical, right?
Right.
So making sure that as a company you're ahead of this so that people know that you don't put internal proprietary company information into a
Right.
public model and things like
Right.
that. So it's important for us at the leadership level of the company, and then of course as the technology enablers, like with IT, is to be the people that are front-footed on giving our teams the tools to do it. Otherwise, enterprising people, as they should, will go out and figure out how to use their own sets of tools. So training, centralized training, is very important, and then lots of celebration of experimentation within the rules of governance, right? So if we find a new
Yeah.
tool or a new thing, great. The first thing we do is we take
Yeah.
it to IT and legal and go, great, now tell us how to use something like this
Right.
within our environment in a way that is, protected and
Yeah.
follows all the rules, but allows us to experiment.
Right. Is there one or two skill set that you would think about if it's a new marketer or a marketer who's kind of trying to get into AI that would
Yeah.
be important for them?
So I think prompt engineering
Yeah.
as a baseline for every single one of us is
Right.
is like, there is no job almost on earth right now, that cannot benefit
Mm.
from better prompt engineering. So I think that's just, like, to me, that's
Yes.
just a baseline of entry. Like, there
Right.
isn't anyone we hire at any level of the organization right now that we don't ask about, well, what are you seeing in AI that's making you excited? What tools do you use? Like, you just want to hear, are
Right.
people conversant in, are they afraid of it, or are they embracing
Right.
it? Are they experimenting? Are they, so I think, first of all, it's a baseline in any conversation I certainly find myself in with talent at any level. I think prompt engineering is a baseline skill. And then I think increasingly, I'm going to call it like the next level of skills, like the ability to build agents. So there's the ability to use agents,
Yeah.
which every single one of us will need to do. Then
Yeah.
there's the ability to, like, build the
No.
agents, build the templates, build the proper sort of prompting structure that other people can use.
News.
That is going to become more and more of an embedded skill set. Like, I believe that many of the things that we actually use external, like third-party tools for today, not the deep sort of
Yeah.
predictive AI work that you and your team does, but like the things that are like overlay tools,
Yes.
those will eventually go away when people know how to build the agent
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
actually does that overlay work.
So interesting. So you see more people kind of using the tools like with embedded skills and kind of more kind of internal build versus what earlier used to be buy.
100%. So, like, I'll give you a for example. Super
Yeah.
experimental, but here's a for example.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of vendors right now that are working on synthetic data, right? So
Yes.
how do
Correct.
you create synthetic data that is as good as, perhaps better than, the
Yeah.
data that we go out into the market and gather? And
Yes.
how do you do that in such a way that it allows you to think about, like, brand health tracking, think about
Yes.
pricing and packaging,
Correct.
testing, et cetera, et cetera. How do you use synthetic data to actually be able to do some of that stuff in real time with a
Right.
person that is never tired, because they're a
Yeah.
synthetic person that exists
Yeah.
24/7 to give you their
Literally.
opinion, right?
Yeah.
That's an example where there are a bunch of vendors that do that. We were having an internal conversation, and I was talking about those types of vendors and that types of things. We then had somebody that went and built an agent for it over the weekend. Like,
Mm.
not this weekend, it was a number
Yeah.
of weekends ago.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh my gosh. So we went and we took it to legal, and we said, hey,
Yeah.
how do we put this in some type of
Yeah.
protected environment so that we can test it? That's an example where, again, whether or not we're totally experimenting it, I
Yeah.
don't know what we're going to do with it.
Yeah.
But the point is, if we use it, we do not have to use a vendor to do that now,
That's exactly interesting. Interesting.
because somebody knew how to build the agent
Right.
themselves over a weekend.
Interesting.
That's
Very,
going to start happening more and more.
very interesting.